Hi everybody. I'm really sorry I can't make the meeting today. Ali asked if I could just record a short video to explain our involvement with the Beach of Dreams project, which I'm really happy to do. And if anyone has any questions, then be welcome to contact me afterwards. That will be no problem at all. So I will just share my screen. So I work for a charity called Morecambe Bay Partnership. We're a small charity in the northwest of England, and run programs to help people, nature and heritage around Morecambe Bay. And in case anyone doesn't know where Morecambe Bay is, it's in the northwest of England, along the coast, and it's a very special, outstanding area, really, very protected, very vast landscape, 308 square kilometres, and it's the largest intertidal area in the UK. So that's the space that's revealed when the tide goes in and out, basically. But well-known Lake District just to the north, and then sort of south of us is Blackpool, and we're sandwiched in between. But a very special area, very important for nature and wildlife, and particularly bird life. And one of the projects that we've been running was something called Ways Around the Bay, which was all around encouraging people to walk and cycle more. So from a health and wellbeing point of view, but also as a way of promoting Morecambe Bay as a sustainable tourism destination. And we were looking for kind of creative ways to involve people and new ways to present the area and encourage people to explore it further. And that's how we heard about the Beach of Dreams project. So we commissioned Kinetika and Rosa Productions to run Beach of Dreams around Morecambe Bay, because it seems to link to so many themes that we're trying to promote. So not only the walking agenda, but obviously reflecting on the unique environment here, the threats that we face, but also story sharing, the heritage of this special place, all strands of work that we're really passionate about in Morecambe Bay. So together, Ali and Rosa put together this amazing programme of activity all last summer, which began in early June and ran until the August bank holiday weekend. And it was all launched with Ali walking 120 miles of walkable coastline from Fleetwood in the south to Barrow in Furness in the north and west, and inviting people to walk along with her. And that was a fantastic launch pad for the project. And then over the month of June, people were invited to share a mile, and we split the coast into 120 miles. People signed up to a mile, walked it, photographed it, shared their story about that mile, and sent it in. And then there were other artistic workshops around that, so people could meet Ali and her team, have a go at looking at the natural dyes, designing their pennants. And then the final big finale was 4 amazing installations in different locations around Morecambe Bay, with music and encouraging as many people as possible to explore it and have conversations about our coastline. I'm just throwing in a few photographs just to show you some of the walking in action. This was on the gathering walks in the very first phase of the project. And that's the picture on the right is the finishing. Ali completed the 120 miles, and champagne followed soon after. And this is Kat Smith, one of our local MPs, who donated a story to the archive. And there's now an amazing collection of material which we'll be able to draw on going forward, documenting the coastline all around the bay, which is such a treasure for us to have, really, all put together by Rosa Productions. And it is everybody's content that eventually was translated into a pennant flag. So their story, their photograph, and there's some video in there, there's audio, and they're all available on our website if you want to check those out. It's a really precious collection of material that we'll be able to use long time into the future, I feel. And just some other images here of the project in progress. So this was the natural dyes and pennant creation. Artist in residency, really. Ali came to Grange for a week, and everyone got involved with helping to move the pennant flags onto the next stage. And there's some shots of the finale installations that we had. So this one is Walney Island, which is the only part of Morecambe Bay that actually looks out to open sea. The rest of the bay, the communities will all look across this sort of crescent-shaped bay across to each other, but this one does look out to open water. And it was a really amazing day. It was very windy, so the installation just looked amazing, and the amount of people who interacted with it and who we were able to have conversations with was a really unique opportunity, really, just a chance to talk to the people who live there, who treasure the place, and explain to us their concerns, and how we might connect with them into the future. This was on Grange over Sands, very different finale. There is no beach at Grange over Sands anymore, despite the name. It's all salt marsh, which is interesting in itself. And so there they were installed all along the promenade. And the footfall there is huge, so there are a lot of people able to enjoy and say, people are instantly drawn to it. What are the pennant flags for? Lots of interaction with people of all ages, very tactile and inclusive. Here we are at Arnside, and walking the flags, the Morecambe Bay flags, into the wider installation, accompanied by the boom bikes and the musical accompaniment. And again, the Morecambe flags went atop Arnside Pier, looking out across the sands and with the viaduct behind. Quite a spectacle and a very well-known site to anyone who knows the Morecambe Bay area, is the viaduct. And the finale day in Morecambe, which was August Bank Holiday Monday, so literally thousands of people walking by, interacting, dancing, asking questions and having those important conversations. And that's the Baby Band, one of the local community organisations that we engaged with the project, and who were lending their support on the finale events. And one thing Ali asked me to do was just to say some of the things that we learned from doing the project, really. So in case these are useful to anyone going forward, I've just put them on a slide there. So there was a lot of elements to our project. So it was quite complex, which was great because it gave people many different ways to interact and find entry points into the project. But I would say it made it quite complicated to communicate. So I think probably if we were doing it again, and I think this is the methodology going forward, it's a much simpler process. The whole project has been made more simplistic and it's more streamlined. The messaging is more simple, and I think that will really help get the message. People got the project right at the end when they saw the installation and they saw the digital archive of stories, but trying to kind of make people aware of that's what it was leading to all the way along was challenging at times, I would say, even though the overarching messages were there from the get-go. Make sure there's plenty of time to map your routes, and you do need capacity to do that. And yeah, again, possibly reduce the number of events and make it easier for people to get involved, and just make the booking process easier. We used Eventbrite, which worked absolutely fine, but I think there was because there were so many different events and they were all in kind of different packages. It was a lot of people for people to get their heads around, and it was hard for people to see how the very first things were going to link to the things at the very end at times. So just minor things. I mean, obviously a lot of people were involved in the whole project and loved it all the way through, but I think just clarity on messaging, make the booking process as easy as possible, less words probably, and simplify everything down a little bit. That was probably the biggest thing I would change if we were going to do it again. But overall, it was a very positive project. I think don't always rely on digital marketing too. Remember the old-fashioned things, and I wish we'd had a few more promotional banners perhaps in the towns for the finale installations, just so people were aware it was coming. I think it might have drawn even more people, but a minor thing really. I mean, we met thousands of people along the way, and that's a great opportunity for us. We don't often get an opportunity to do a project that covers the whole geography of Morecambe Bay, and so this was a gift in that sense. And really, in terms of us promoting our cause and our charity and raising our profile, it worked really, really well for us. The volunteers were fantastic. So, building time and opportunities to get local people involved, and they were there putting flags in at the start early morning and there at the end to help take them down, and really made a massive contribution, and that was really rewarding for us to connect with those volunteers as part of our work. The press loved it. It's a great publicity story, so there's lots of things that you can tie in with that. Obviously, we were trying to promote cycling and walking, so that was our angle on it, but conversations about the environment, about the arts, about communities, about our coastline, and there's so many things that could have gone into the press communications. And I think we were on the radio. I lost track of how many times different members of the team were on the radio and in the local press about this project, so that was a big plus for us and our funders. And I would say, above all, the conversations we had with local people were really of high value. And again, like I say, the chance to talk to people all around the bay is not something that we always get a chance to do, and that will help inform our work going forward. So I just thought I'd finish with this slide here, which is a quote I gave to Ali, but I feel like it just gets across the value we've had from the project. So it had enormous reach, and we estimate 20,000 people in one way or another got involved with the project. It was very inclusive. People could participate and share their own story from their own corner, and some of them were very personal, and some were about their organisations and their hopes and dreams for the future. And the finale installations were, really high quality, looked beautiful, very moving. And the feedback we got from those was really great, particularly from people who perhaps we don't always connect with as well as we would like. And lots of people are saying, we need more of this kind of thing in Barrow or whatever. It was really really well received. And as I say, it sparked important conversations about the places of the Bay and local concerns, which, is hopefully going to help our work going forward into the future. So that's a little potted summary of what we did and a few lessons we learned along the way. But if you want to know more, if you just put Beach of Dreams, remember the dashes, morecambebay.org.uk, Beach of Dreams, it'll direct you to the landing page where all of the archive, and there's also a great film that was made by Rosa Productions telling the story of the Gathering Walks, and it's all there to be explored. I hope that's useful. And as I say, if anyone has any further questions, you can email me. Just go to the Morecambe Bay website and you'll find our email address, and I'll be happy to help. Okay, and I hope some of you will consider taking part. Bye bye.